Hello, welcome to What If Issei become the strongest hero of humanity and fall in love with the ruler of Finality Part 2. Before we start, please go support Argus Fallen 019 for writing that awesome fanfic. Chapter 4. New students, Ria's worst mistake and Kiana's family reunion. Location: Kuo City at Haidu's mansion. As the sun rises, Kevin, Issei and Kiana, who are now wake up from their sleep as they decided rush out which they need take a shower together. Well, since it was no problem for them both because they are now lovers. They're cleaning their teeth, trimming their nails, combing their hair, etc. They also wear their own school clothes, which it is their own choice, since Kevin and Issei want to try some new uniform on his own. As for Kiana, wants to wear her uniform in her own choice, which she doesn't want to wear the Kuo Academy girls uniform, since the upper part of the uniform is kind of tight, and it may also end up in a tear on the cleavage, and the skirt of the Kuo Academy is way too much short as if her panties can be seen by those perverts. Luckily for Kevin that he is not a pervert in the present day, as he also wants to quit himself in the perverted trio group, but sadly he still consider them as his friends. But before they go, they immediately cook their breakfast meal, which they also cook one of the Kaslana's favorite breakfast meal, pizza toast. They also love to make the pizza toast since before, when Kiana is the one who made breakfast for Kevin in the heavens a few weeks ago. As Kevin tasted her pizza toast, he immediately eat it all like a hungry wolf, since it looks tasty and cheesy, while Kiana, who is observing him, just laughed at his action. Although, Kiana also miss her father's cooking before when she was a child, which Kevin sees this and place his hands on her shoulder to reassure her, which Kiana smiled at her lover before she goes back to her job, as she and Kevin made 14 pieces of pizza toast, which they will have to eat 2 pieces of each. Once Kiana and Kevin are done, they immediately put it on the serving plate, as they are also took 2 pieces of pizza toast, and place a note for those who didn't take a breakfast, which is take 2 pieces each per person. Once again, they immediately head out with their bags to the first floor. As they went outside of the mansion and onto the gate, Kiana and Kevin looked around if there are other people around, which they saw no one, which Kiana opened her portal revealing the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, which is Kevin and Kiana's personal sports car. But how did they get the Ford Mustang GT500? Well, it's simple. Kiana and Kevin were training in the ruins of Camelot in England a few weeks ago, but someone came who are human thieves, and they're riding the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, and they wanted to deliver it to their mafia boss, so Kiana and Kevin will wait for them before they transform in their battlesuit, which is Void Drifter mode. But once the mafia boss arrives, Kiana and Kevin showed up and attacks them unknowing for the thieves, and mafia's guard that they were under attack. Then Kiana and Kevin knock them cold easily, which the mafia boss doesn't have any choice but to surrender. Then Kevin decided to call the police and explains about what happened. After 30 minutes, the police arrives and they took the mafia boss along with his guards and the thieves and sent them to the prison. Then the owner of the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 came and thanked the couples before he get something in his car, which it revealed $30 million. This made Kevin and Kiana were shocked, but the man gives them $15 million, together with his sport car Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, as their reward for helping him and arresting the criminals. But Kiana and Kevin wanted to decline the reward, however the man insisted it, which Kevin and Kiana nonetheless accepted in the end. Then they said goodbyes to the man, but before the man leaves, he give his number if they needed help, they will just call him as he will be there for them. And he also told them that he is a billionaire and a CEO of the company, and also a top one of the greatest company in the USA and the whole world, which Kiana and Kevin were also shocked at the secrets, which the man immediately leaves them behind before he rides his other car, which is the Lamborghini Aventador, and went away. Then Kiana and Kevin ride in their new sport car as they keep their $15 million in the void storage safely and drive away from the ruins of Camelot. So back to the present, as Kevin starts the engine of the car using his keys as they got seatbelt before heading out to the academy. Once they drive away, outside the main door of the mansion, Asia, Akeno, Yumi, who is now in her male form since she needs to stay on guard to avoid confusion and keep her secrets, Kaneko, who is eating the pizza toast since she likes the food that Kevin and Kiana made, Mickey and Goru, who saw those two couples drive away to the academy. But they have their faces in. How lucky they are, or since when did they have a Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, since it takes more than 100 million 800 million yens. They have no clue since they knew what they're capable of, so Asia and her friends decided to walk to the school on their own, while Mickey and Goru went to the supermarket to buy for their food and food products, furniture and many more they can spend, which they have the money that is given by Kiana yesterday. Location: Kuo Academy. Many Kuo students who were entering the academy together with the teachers, but then the sound of a car arrives, which is the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, which many male students look at it in envy, while many female students look at it in awe and curious, but then the car gets into a round drift as it park in the parking area and its engine is now shut down. Once the students including the teachers saw this, in the right side of the car as the door opened, it revealed the white-haired girl in ponytail hairstyle who stepped out of the car's door. This made the male students cheer up for the new girl coming in their academy, while the female students saw her and shocked as they also admired her beauty. While the teachers saw this, they also felt that they need to protect her from her new fans. But then on the left side in the car, which is the driver's seat, as the door opened, revealing a male with the same looks as the girl, but masculine looks. He has a charming smile, and he looks like a ice king under the moonlight, which all female students and female teachers who are still single are charmed and fell in love with him, as they also have hearts or lust on their eyes, while the male students are looking at him in envy and hatred as they had enough with the Prince of Kuo. But they also need to deal him, and it will be difficult for them to find their worthy girlfriend. Unlike them, the male students accepted him since he showed his greatest youth among the males, but what they need is the true power of the youth, just like a certain youth shinobi. Meanwhile at the Naruto universe, Achu Snifug, someone else did the same youth as me. If whoever did that, I'll approve him that he will be the greatest generation of all people who shows the true power of youth. He screamed himself as his rival had a Kakashi Sweatdrop. It is supposed to be rival, but decided to read his favorite book, the Icha book series. Back to the DxD world. Once again, as Kevin and Kiana closed the car doors while Kevin switched the remote car keys in lock mode so no one else can steal their car as he places car keys in his pockets. Then Kevin and Kiana holding hands and walk together, which all of them getting jealous at the newly couples. Then the student councils who is Sona Citri, the student council president who wears pink eyeglass and short black hair and violet eyes. While the student council vice president named Tsubaki Shines, who have blue eyeglass with black long hair that reaches in her legs with light brown eyes. While the other girls are Momo Hanaki white hair, Ryaku Saka brown hair, Tsubasa Yura blue hair, Tomo Meguri reddish brown hair, Haruko Nomura brown hair with green eyes, and the blonde-haired guy who is the wielder of absorption gear, which it is a fragment of the Dragon King Vritra. Sona. So I presume that you're a new student? She said to the white-haired couples, which Kevin and Kiana looked at her, nodded, and Kevin mouthed them saying. Let's meet at your student council office, he said to them, which Sona heard him as she nodded and orders her members to be specific her peerage to follow her. Which they did, as they went inside the academy as they were arrived at the South Carolina office, which they closed the door before they will talk in business. Sona. So can you tell me which school are you come from? She asked the couple, which Kiana said to them that it was her first time to study here, but she was been told by her principal to transfer here from her old school St. Freya Academy, but when Sona heard it, she narrowed her eyes that something is wrong, but decided to let go as she turned her attention to Kevin. Kevin sighed as he said to them, Kevin. Well, how can you forget about who I am? I'm the same person who is gone missing and 2 weeks ago. He said to them, as the student councils think of it, but someone else remember which he said in surprise. Saji. Wait, Issei, is that you? How come that you change yourself into a handsome man? He said to him as he walked to him offering a bro hug, which Kevin hugs him while chuckling as he said. Kevin. Yeah, it's me, Saji. It's been few weeks for now. So how are you this time? He said to him, which they immediately separate each other as Saji said. Saji. I'm fine, but do you know how much I suffered when you were gone in 2 weeks? Don't ever dare to do that again. He said to him, but Sona asked to Kevin as she said. Sona. I'm surprised that you are changed, Issei, to be exact. But if you really were Issei, what happened to you before when you were gone in 2 weeks? She asked him, which Kevin explains to her everything from his past life to present about his betrayal through saving by the god, which he never told them, that Kiana is the leader of heaven instead as a follower of God, and he also told them that Kiana is his lover. Once he explained it all, Sona along with others are now furious at what Ria's doing, as she noted it, then decided to give Kevin, Issei and Kiana their room and schedule for their class, while Saji and other girls congratulate Kevin, Issei for having a new love. Sona. Okay, since I learned the truth about what Rias have done to you, I am truly sorry on the behalf of her, and of course, you can wear that new uniform of yours, especially with your lover. How lucky are you? And here is the schedule of your classes, you may go now. She said as she gives the schedule for their classes, which Kevin and Kiana nodded as they bow their heads before leaving the room. But then, Sona frustrated as she have huge temper and hatred on Rias for controlling her domain and becoming irresponsible for the town, which she needs many evidence to prove herself against Rias, so Rias will be overthrown by her as she takes her responsibility to take care of her territory and to clear any threats around the town. Then she immediately ordered her members to work out as they are now working hard while Sona works on her paperworks since she needs it, unlike her foolish older sister who whine like a baby that she doesn't take it anymore. As Kevin and Kiana headed to their classroom room, but when they arrived, the two of them knocked the door, which the door opened, revealing a beautiful woman with silver gray hair and light violet eyes while wearing her eyeglasses. Teacher? Ah yes, may I help you? She asked them, which Kevin answered the question as he said. Kevin? Well, Miss Yukari, we are the new student as I talked to the student council about our new room and schedule for today, but this girl besides me was transferred here from her previous school. Well me, I used to study here, but I was absent in 2 weeks. He said to her, which Miss Yukari nodded in understanding but deep in her mind, she is dreaming about having such handsome man like Kevin dancing, dating, having intercourse and having a child. But then, she snapped out of her trance as she regained conscious which she immediately head back inside to announce to her students about the newcomer. Yukari. Okay, listen everyone, I would like you all to behave since we already have a new student, one is from other school and one who studied here before, please come in you too. She said, which the students gossiping saying. I wish it's a beautiful queen or I wish it's a handsome king. As the new student entered, they are shocked that their new student is the two white hair person. When Kevin and Kiana entered the room, Kiana introduced herself as she said. Kiana. A pleasant morning to everyone, I am Kiana Kaslana. I came from the St. Freya Academy in Nagazora City. And I am also the new transfer student and to tell you this, I already have a lover and I am gonna marry to the person I loved soon. She said to them, which all boys are disappointed that she is taken while the girls squeal like a fangirl. Then it is Kevin's turn to introduce himself to them. Kevin. Greetings anyone, my name is Kevin Kaslana, but my previous name is Issei Haidu. And to tell you why, I was betrayed by my girlfriend who cheated on me, but Kiana saved my life as she helped me to move on from my suffering of betrayal. Me and Kiana became lovers a few weeks ago, as I decided to follow her tradition which I turned myself into a member of her clan, as we are now currently engaged in marriage sooner. He said to them, which all of the students in Yukari, except for Kiana, Kevin, and Asia who knows it yesterday, shouted in surprised as they never imagined that Kevin is actually Issei. Then his two friends ran after him as they are trying to hug him, but Kevin literally dodged them to the left, which his two friends accidentally bump on the blackboard. However, Kevin sigh as he grabs two of them and tossed them outside in the open window. Luckily they were hang on the tree branch which they are safe. Then, Yukari get back to her senses as she asks her students if they need question about the new student which Murayama raised her hand which Yukari calls her as Murayama asked Kiana. Murayama. Miss Kiana, why do you choose the pervert over there instead of someone else? She asked her, but then Kiana glares her which Murayama shivers in fear as Kiana said to her. Kiana. Why should I choose him? Simple, it's because he is my lover. And don't you dare to speak such nonsense like my lover is a pervert. Not only that, he was been betrayed by his only girlfriend to just having sex with stranger. It was his second time that his girlfriend cheating or betraying him, so I decided to help him moved on and I will love him with all my heart and becoming his real lover so he will never go through a lot of pain and betrayal. So tell me in one thing, what did he do to you? Nothing, it wasn't wrong for peeking all of you in the changing room, there's a difference from pervert to a rapist. Besides, Issei in his past life may be a pervert person, but he never forced himself to rape any of you, he still has his dignity as a man, and he is a good-hearted person, and he only wants someone who can support him with love, care and even friendship. The Issei that you knew is changed into a new person now called as Kevin Kaslana, a member of Kaslana family and a person who wished to help anyone, and thus becoming the true wise man and a hero. She said to Murayama, not only her but to others which all students except Asia, Kevin and Kiana especially the Kendo club members, bow their heads in shame, but then Mitsuda and Motohama came back which they also listened at what Kiana said, then they walked towards Kevin as they kneeled down in apology as they said. Mitsuda and Motohama. Issei, I'm sorry for everything for what we have done to your life, I know that we also involve you for doing the pervert things. It also my fault, so it is your choice to punish us. They said in unison, which all of them shock about the two perverts apologizing to Kevin Issei, but Kevin sighed as he said, Kevin. I forgive you for a long time, I am also happy that you are my friends that I rely on, but it is time for me to quit in our little group. Even if I quit in pervert trio band, I still consider you as my friends. He said to them, which his friends accepted it which they decided to head back to their seats. Then another one who raised their hand who is Aika Kiryu, which she asked a question to Kevin. Aika. Well then Kevin, if Kiana is your new lover and current girlfriend, who is the previous girlfriend who cheated you? She asked him, which Kiana sighed about why she asked that question which it will anger Kevin, then Kevin gritted his teeth as he said the name with hate. Kevin. That person or should I say a wrench who cheated on me is no other than Rias Gremory. He said in hate, which many students gasped in shock with Yukari of course, which it is an unexpected that Issei or Kevin's previous girlfriend is Rias Gremory, the most beautiful girl on first year college. Then, Yukari silenced all of the students as she let the two students find their own seats which both couples are seating at the back. Kevin is close to Asia's place as besides him is Kiana who is near at the window, which it is a perfect spot for her. Then they discuss their lesson as their teacher teach them and give them a math quiz which it is hard for them. But then, in 1 minute, only 2 of them finished their work, which is Kevin and Kiana. As they pass their papers to Yukari, she double-check it as she is shocked that their answers are all correct, as if they were a great mathematician. How is that possible? It's because Kevin's mind makes him more intelligent and smarter than the average scientist and mathematician, and he linked through Kiana's mind to share information with him, so Kiana takes her lover's advice as they write the correct answer. But he also shared his information to his beloved adopted sister Asia, but Asia is a slow writer, but she memorize all of the information that is given by Kevin. As the time stops, Asia finish it in time as they pass all of the papers and take a break. As everyone are outside the school, Kevin and Kiana are eating their meals together with Asia, as Kiana offers her food to Kevin, which he gladly take it, while Asia pouted in cute face, as she is envious about what they are doing. But unknown to them, in the orc clubhouse, Rias, who heard on the rumors that Issei is back as his looks have changed in white, which Rias ordered Kiba, saying, "Rias. Kiba, could you fetch Issei and that girl who is proclaimed to be his lover and bring them here? I just want to talk to them and probably ask that girl to join my peerage," she said to him, but Kiba on the other hand, glare at her, but doesn't show it as he bowed to her before leaving. As Kiba leave Rias on her office, he thought this in his mind. Kibayumi, oh great, now she learns that Issei is back. But Issei is no longer alive, he is Kevin Kaslana for Satan's sake. I wish that Rias will never try anything to oppose Kevin's lover, Kiana. If she is, we will be doomed, which it will trigger the war between angels and devils. I should warn him immediately. She said as he head to Kevin and Kiana's classroom. Back in the class B, as Kevin and Kiana are listening to the Yukari's lesson. Kiba, who arrived, knocked the door, as everyone on the girls squeal at him as Kiba said, "Kiba. Excuse me sensei, can I have Kevin and Kiana for a moment please?" he said to her, which Yukari looked at the couples, which Kevin and Kiana nodded at her, then Yukari let them go with Kiba as the couples with Kiba leave the classroom. While they're walking, Kevin asked Kibayumi as he said, "Kevin. Why did you call us for all sudden?" He asked Kiba, but Kiba sighed as he said, "Kiba. I'm sorry Kevin, but Rias knows you're Issei, since those rumors spread this information like a wildfire. I just wanted to go against her orders, but I can't, I will be labeled as a stray devil if I go against her," he said to him, but Kevin stared at him in cold eyes as he said, "Kevin. Why should you follow her? You're stronger than her, and Rias is weak and spoiled brat, so you have advantage to go against her. Keep this in your mind, everyone else deserves freedom, not someone else who follows their master like a dog. You are yourself, it is yours to decide, and not by your master," he said to Kibayumi, which Kiba noted his advice as they are arrived at their location. When they entered, they head to where Rias is, and when they entered in the room, they heard someone shower inside, which Kiba, Kevin and Kiana turned their face to disgust. Then Rias stepped out of her shower room and naked, which Kevin scoffed himself as if she were beautiful and sexiest girl. He prefers Kiana and her beautiful and godly naked body than Rias' body. But as Rias looks at Issei, she is confused about why he keep his face in stoic look, but then she wears her clothes. As she decided to talk to them. Rias. "Hello there Issei, did you miss me? If you do, I would gladly reward you something," she said to him, but Kevin keeps his stoic face without saying a word. But then, Rias look at Kiana, who is glaring at her, but then she asks her in harsh, "Rias. And who are you trying to proclaim yourself as my pawn's girlfriend? You know, it is better that if you join those band of perverts in the junkyard than having my Issei with you," she said in harsh and arrogant way, which Kiba heard her in surprise of what Rias saying harsh and vulgar words to Kiana, so he decided to left the room without saying a single word and to prevent trouble and save himself from Kiana's wrath. Then, Kevin glares at Rias for saying those vulgar words to his lover, but then, Kiana released her dangerous yet massive aura, which had forced Rias to kneel down at her presence. Then Kiana walk in front of Rias, who is struggling to get up, but then Kiana raised her one leg before stepping in Rias' head to the floor, which Rias' head is bleeding by the force. Then Kiana said to Rias, "Kiana. You may call me whatever you want, but you have gone too far for saying that I'm a worthless girlfriend of Kevin and ordering me to go to the band of perverts in the junkyard. Actually it was you who is worthless girlfriend, and the worst of all, you are also a piece of trash, only to pleasure someone else like a slut or worse than succubus. Do you even think that I don't know you, devil of Gremory?" she said to her, which Rias looked at her in surprise, then she got furious before she gathered the amount of her pod power of destruction around her body. "Rias. What are you saying, you bitch? Get off your foot on my head, it's true that you're a stalker or a slut who wants my pawn, my Issei," she said to her while trying to release her pod, but Kiana is unconvinced at her words, but she used her power to absorb and copy Rias' powers, which it will be useful in the future. Then Rias' pod got depleted as she turns weaker and weaker, as if her powers is been used up all. "Rias. What? That's impossible, my pod, what have you done?" she said to Kiana, which Kevin answered Rias' confusion since Kiana is getting bored answering Rias' question. "Kevin. Rias, you are an idiot, aren't you? Kiana can do everything whatever she can, moreover she is too powerful than me, a Red Dragon Emperor. She is the strongest person or being who is on far beyond everyone else. She can go against your brother, or even if those 4 Satans combining their attacks against her, which is also useless. And she is allied with the heavens and a right hand of God. That same goes to me, and also I already quit in your peerage since I'm no longer your pawn, and I am already the guardian of the heaven and the human world. He said in half-truth and lies to Rias while throwing a bag to her, as it reveals shattered pieces of pawn which Rias widen her eyes as look at him in anger. Rias. Why did you betray me? Why did you leave your own group? How could you do this to me? You will be labeled as a stray devil if you do this any further, she said, but Kevin doesn't face it as he said to her. Kevin. Really, are you concerned about me? But I don't care as much as I already realized that you left me die and revived me like some sort of superhero. As if they were real, so I decided to go against those rules, and I wanted to have freedom than becoming slave to some master like you. Also, I also know that you're cheating on me with someone else. I see what you can't see. But if you try to recruit me or Kiana or any of the humans that you met, this will consider as an act of war. Meaning we will restart the war with reason, which is to rebalance the world by eliminating your whole race, which the Satans, even your brother, will never save you from God's wrath, including my and Kiana's wrath. He said to her while glaring at her, which Rias is now scared as she peed herself under her panties, which Kiana covered her nose, saying. Kiana. Yuck, Kevin, you just really made her piss off. Hahaha, what a weak and scared devil with menstruation hair you are, Rias FKG Gremory. She said while Kevin scoffed himself as he returned back to Kiana's side, but Rias heard that what Kiana said. She cast her power of destruction magic again towards Kiana, which had passed through Kevin's side. However, Kiana snaps her finger, summon her void portal, it absorbed it before it disappear. Then Kiana pointed her hand to Rias, which the portal appear in front of Rias' face, then it hit Rias by returning the pod magic to her. Rias felt her face burning as she fall to the floor rolling in pain, then she crawls to the desk, find her own emergency phoenix tears. Then Kiana and Kevin left the room, which they heard Rias yelling in agony, as if it was really hurt as hell. Then Kiana comment to Kevin saying, Kiana. Using pod magic is very risky, only if Rias learn about other magic which is non-lethal. Now her payment has already paid, which is her so-called beautiful face. She said while giggling. As for Kevin, he smirked and felt proud of his lover, who is fighting back against Rias with ease, which he will reward her with free food. They suddenly left the orc and informed Kibayumi, Akeno, Kaneko and Asia about what happened to Rias. They even immediately laughed together on the ground, then they also shared it to Sona and her peerage about what happened. They have same reaction as them, but Sona smirk as she think that Rias gets her worst mistake she made, and she deserve it. Then Kevin, Kiana and Asia ride the car while Kiba, Akeno and Kaneko will pack their things from their apartment to Kevin's home, since they asked permission from Kevin's parents, which they accepted. So Kevin, Kiana and Asia go home first before them. Location. Kevin's mansion. As they were arrived, the girls get out of the car before Kevin parked the car in the garage. Once at park inside, he exits the car before he close and locked it, then closing the garage door properly with the remote control. Then, they entered the mansion, and once they arrived at the living room, Kevin's arm glows bright as the orb flies to the floor, and it revealed Dreg in his chibi form. Dreg. Kevin, I sent someone inside the living room, please prepare yourself. He said as he hides himself at Kiana's bag. Then Kevin bring out his judgment of Shamash in gun form as he went in the living room, as Kiana summon her keys of the void using her void powers, which it may also rival judgment of Shamash in terms of fire power. As for Asia, she is besides Kiana, which Kiana will guard Asia at all cost. Once Kevin arrived at the living room as he saw his parents, and then someone that Kiana knows, Kevin lowered his guns and keep them in his holster, which he sighed and said to Kiana. Kevin. Kiana, I think you need to see this is not I want to speak of. He said to Kiana, which Kiana unsummoned her weapon in thin air, as she went to Kevin as she look at him that Kevin is looking someone, which Kiana turn her head where Kevin is looking at. She saw someone with wide eyes, that in front of her is Kevin's parents together with her parents who is alive with her teacher, but the blonde-haired beautiful demoness is with them too. But Kiana, Kevin and Asia saw this makes them really confused about what happened while they were at school. When Kiana's mother Cecilia Sheriak saw Kiana standing behind Kevin. She rushed towards her daughter, which Kiana panicked as she wanted to avoid her bear hug, much to Siren's late warning to her. Cecilia hugs Kiana tightly as she is very happy to see the clone of Kiana Aka Siren, but Kiana on the other hand, suffocating in her mother's breast as she is losing air. That's when Kevin's parents, Himeko and Siegfried, saw Kiana who is turning blue. They immediately rushed to save Kiana, but Cecilia released Kiana as she knows what she is doing, which all of them sigh. But Kevin is relieved that his lover is safe, but he couldn't do anything because it is his lover's reunion with her family. Then Cecilia asked her daughter saying, Cecilia. Oh my daughter, you are already grown up. I never thought that my baby girl is very mature and beautiful as me. How are you? Did you eat well? Are you making friends with someone? Gasper, perhaps you have a boyfriend. Oh, my baby girl is now women. I just want my daughter get married and have a child so I can spoil them with treats and love. She said, which everyone are laughing at her words. Well, Kiana, who is blushing at her mother's word that she needs to marry with her lover and have a child so early. But nonetheless, Kevin look at Siegfried only meet him with fiery rage on Siegfried for taking his lovely daughter away from him, but Kevin pay no mind of him. Compared to Kevin and Siegfried, Kevin is much powerful as he can able to par on the Great Red's power, but he is close to the power of the apocalyptic beast Trahixa. While Siegfried may be a strongest male Valkyrie of Schicksal, he perhaps can fight against 4 Satans, along with Azazel and other cadre level. But then, Lucifer fake cough herself to get them the attention, which Kiana looked at Lucifer as she said. Kiana. Wait, are you Lucifer, the daughter of God? I thought that you will never come back here. She asked her, which Kevin looked at Lucifer in surprise but remained stoic face as Lucifer sigh herself as she said. Lucifer? Well, supposed to be, but when I saw my home, my underworld is now corrupted by other evil ones. I was sent here by God, my father, to guide your family here at Haidu's residence, and he also gave me a task which I must reclaim my throne, but Sirzich's Gremory are now fake. Lucifer takes my throne and title in his care, which there's nothing wrong on it. But there are some others giving trouble in Devil's territory, and also I need to find my family, including my descendant. Trust me, my family is also battle maniac when it comes to a fight just like me, so I'll come back here by tomorrow as well as I will bring my family here if it is okay for you, Kiana and Kevin. She said to them, which Kiana looked at Kevin who nodded in approve, but he doesn't want to get himself into trouble by Lucifer's family. After agreeing with the decision, Lucifer used her family's crest portal to teleport herself into her own family location. While Lucifer is gone to fetch her family, Himeko drinks her beer which she look at Kiana. This made Kiana shivers that her sensei look at her. But then, Himeko sigh as she smiled at her saying, Himeko? I don't know what to say, but I am so proud of you, Kiana. Not only give you my final lesson which you understand it, but also you change yourself to be a mature girl. You also help the others, even saving someone's life, and to fight for the innocent's freedom and life. God told me and your parents about your heroic deeds, but you, out of all people, still standing and never surrender and spread hope and faith for everyone else including the supernaturals. She said to Kiana while smiling at her, which Kiana had tears on her eyes as she rushed to her sensei hugging her, which Himeko hugs Kiana back wholeheartedly. This made Kiana's parents, Kevin, Mr. and Ms. Haidu, and Asia have a sad smile. After that, they immediately go back to normal. Suddenly Drake came out of Kiana's bag while munching chocolate cookies that Kiana have left during recess time. Which all of them surprisingly Kiana's parent and Himeko who look at Drake knowing that they have already dealt burners, but him is another limit. But then, Drake swallow his food as he burps and asks Kevin. Drake. Partner, do you know what happened while I was inside of Kiana's bag eating her cookies that she had left? He said to him, which all of them laughed at him in joy, and this made Drake have a blank face as if nothing happened. After few minutes, Yumi, who is now female form, Akeno, and Kaneko arrive at home, which they are surprised that they met Kiana's parents and Kiana's teacher, her aunt, that what Kiana calling her. They greeted them, which Kiana's parent and sensei greeted back, then they immediately take a dinner which they are already enjoying. And of course, Drake is lucky that Kiana created a dragon fruit which is Drake's favorite as he ate a 3 bowl full of dragon fruit, which he is now solved. After they eat their dinner, Mickey decided to bring all family photo album which Kevin look at her, but decided to give her a chance which Cecilia, Kiana, Asia, Akeno, Kaneko and Yumi look at all of Kevin Issei's picture during his childhood past. Kevin never embarrassed himself outside about his past, but inside of him, he cursed his luck about why his mother bring all albums about him, which it will bring shame of his life. But then, when all of them saw Kevin Issei have another friend with a sword that is behind them at the picture, Kiana asked her lover. Kiana. Kevin, who is this person besides you in the picture? She asked him, but Kevin answered her. Kevin. Oh, that person, from what I remember her name is Irina Shidu and she is a girl. She just disguised herself as a boy to trick me that she is a he. But of course, she's my favorite childhood friend in my past, before she went to England to study or her family's business as an exorcist. He said to them, but then Kiana got a call from someone else which she answered it, and after few minutes, she call ended it which she said to them. Kiana. Sorry everyone, I think Archangel Gabriel called me to fetch them up, but she also have other guests that join them which it is part of Shinto and Greek. I'll head there carefully, and see ya. She said to them, which everyone nodded at her, then Kiana rush out to fetch Gabriel and others for a while. Then Yumi saw the sword that it looks like fake Excalibur, but she had her new target which she put aside that sword, and that fake sword is useless for her revenge. As Kevin talked to Siegfried about something, Siegfried admitted that this Kevin new generation is different from the Kevin he met, so they approve each other, as Siegfried tells Kevin to call him father-in-law or Otu-san, but Kevin raised his brows, but decided to call him old man than Otu-san, which Siegfried whined in defeat, which he accepted, thanks to Kiana calling him that way. After that, Kiana arrived in 30 minutes together with Gabriel and her two exorcists, and the two goddess from Greek and Shinto pantheon, which Kevin and others confused about this. As they will find out about who are those people that is with Kiana and Gabriel. Bonus story. As Kevin, Issei and Kiana walk to the heaven, they bump into Raphael, who holds the potion which it fly and spilled it into Kiana. But then, her body shine into bright light which Kevin and Raphael covered their eyes. After that, they saw Kiana, who is now a 5-year-old child, which then Kevin glares at Raphael, but then Kiana look at Kevin saying, "Kiana. Papa," she said in childish voice, but then Kevin had his heart shot by the arrow, as he saw how cute of Kiana in child form is. But then, Kevin acquired his achievement, which is, title. Father of Kiana Kaslana. He couldn't think of it, but he decided to take Kiana in his care. Then Michael came by to check about what happened, but when he saw his leader in child form, he thinks that it was Raphael's fault, so he decided to take him to deliver him to Gabriel, since Gabriel is in charge to punish her brothers very much, but before he go, he told him to Kevin as he said, "Michael. Kevin, that effect of Kiana that she have will only last in 6 hours till her effects break and turn back to normal, so better take care of her while I will have some work, that's all, and good luck on becoming a father of Kiana," he said as he left, dragging Raphael, while Raphael pleaded in mercy to Kevin, which he did nothing. As Kevin and little Kiana are alone, he think that he should enjoy both of them in father-daughter relationship, which he did it. But then, Kevin takes Kiana to the human world to enjoy each other. He even takes her to the park, buying ice cream and balloons for her, and even watching at the sunset together. After that, Kevin look at Kiana sleeping peacefully as Kevin smiled at her. And then her body glows, which her size goes back to normal. Once Kiana is now in normal form, she open her eyes and look around, confusing her as she looks at Kevin and asked him about what happened to her while she was blacked out. Then Kevin explained everything to her at what happened, which it made Kiana embarrassed herself as she lightly punching at Kevin's shoulder, as Kevin chuckles softly before they head back to the heaven. Chapter 5. Meeting with exorcist and goddesses and Lucifer's family and Leviathan. Third Pav. After the visitors arrived in Kevin's home, Kiana, Kevin and others are sitting at the sofa. That same goes to the visitors, which is Gabriel, 2 exorcist and 2 goddess. Then Kiana asked Gabriel as she said, "Kiana. So Gabriel, are these 2 exorcists who will be sent to retrieve the Excalibur pieces? But in my opinion, those churches are nothing but cowards. Why don't they send the strongest member of the church, Vasco Strata, to deal this problem?" she said to her, which Gabriel answered her, "Gabriel. I'm sorry, Lady Kiana, but I already tried to persuade them, however those priests refused my request, and they wish for those 2 rookies to retrieve it and have experience on combat. I have no choice but to accept it," she said to her. This made Kiana sigh disappointed as Kevin shakes his head saying, "Kevin. TCH, what kind of priests do they have? Even if they are religious, doesn't mean they will send them to deal this problem, which it will be a suicide mission for beginners." "Great, I bet that it is either old man Vasco or even Michael's Joker Dulio can handle this problem with ease, but now we don't know if they are capable to fight back or defend themselves from the enemies." He comment himself, which it is true that most of church are bunch of idiots, and he claims them as a heretics who doesn't follow the order of Archangel and God of Heaven. They are using the name of God for their own deeds, which it is crazy. Then he look at the exorcist as he asked them, "Kevin. And you too, show your face under your hood," he said to the 2 exorcists, which both of them removed their hoods, revealing Kevin, Issei's childhood friend Irina, and other girl who is assumed as Griselda's child, Zenobia. Irina. You don't have to be cold to us, you know that God will be angry if you or go against the church, right?" she said to him, which Kevin raised his brows as he looks at her saying, "Kevin. Ho, I never expect that Gabriel's exorcist was supposed to be my childhood friend, Irina Shidu. Well, that blue-haired girl with green streak hair is Zenobia Quarta, child of the former exorcist and Gabriel's queen Griselda Quarta. How unlucky for you both that you were sent to retrieve the holy swords and deal against the culprits or the stray exorcist along the rogue fallen angels," he said to them, which Irina and Zenobia looked at him in shocked, but Irina think of it about what he mean her being his childhood friend, she only have one childhood friend. Then she came into conclusion and surprise as she said, "Irina. Issei, is that you? I never thought I would recognize you despite your new face," she said to him. Apparently Zenobia never expect for her partner that her childhood friend is really handsome. But then, Kevin said to them, "Kevin. Yes, I am, but I don't want you to call me Issei anymore. I am Kevin Kaslana, and I am currently engaged with my lover Kiana Kaslana. Also, if you want to know why, just ask either Kiana or my parents about why I discarded my previous name," he said to them, but then Zenobia looked at Asia, which she said, Zenobia, either ways, why you have excommunicated none, or should I say a witch here at your home, Sir Kevin? She asked her, but then Kevin glared at her, then Zenobia felt a cold steel behind her, which one is a void spear came from Kiana, while other one is a sword from Kevin's gob. This made Gabriel look at Zenobia in anger. Gabriel. Zenobia, if I were you, I would not speak a word to Asia, plus it is just a mistake for her to heal a devil. She never meant anything wrong, she was just a child before and she's always been watched by God from heaven due to her being the only pure-hearted girl which she will be accepted in heaven as a candidate of the youngest seraph, plus you don't know how strong Kevin or Kiana. Don't you know that Kevin has also been called by others as the Deliverance, while Kiana has also been called as the Empress of Void? She said to Zenobia, which Zenobia never think of it before she went apologize to Asia for her actions. Zenobia. I'm sorry Asia for what I've said to you, please forgive me. She apologized to Asia, which Asia forgive her. Asia. Of course I forgive you already. After all, I've accepted my mistakes from my past and I've moved on to my future with my new family, right Kevin Niacin? She said, which Kevin looked at his sister before head patting her which Asia felt good by her brother's doing. But also Kiana pouted at Kevin and envious as she wanted to do that too. But then, Kevin looked at the two deities which he asked them. Kevin. And who might you two be, two divine goddesses? He asked them, which Artemis introduced herself to him. Artemis. Well Sir Kevin, my name is Artemis, a goddess of hunt, moon and chastity. I was sent here to investigate about where our uncle Hades' pets, which are the three-headed hell dogs, Cerberus. It has been gone a few weeks ago, and also we are still searching for the unknown deity which is unknown to us, so we would like to know if it is friendly or foe, and I would like to have an alliance with the deity to avoid bloodshed and war. She said to Kevin, which Kevin is confused about this situation, however he knows that the unknown deity is Kiana, because Herrscher are also called as gods and goddesses, so Kiana is still counted as a goddess. But then, he turns to the Shinto goddess which he asked her. Kevin. And who might you be, Shinto goddess? He asked the Shinto goddess, which she introduced herself to him. Goddess Amaterasu, Shinto goddess of sun and leader of the Shinto faction. Amaterasu. Well, greetings to you, Sir Kevin. My name is Amaterasu no Amakami, and I just visit here in Kuo to check if this town is in good condition, that is ruled by the two devil king's sister. Moreover, I am also wish for an alliance with the unknown deity for a non-aggression pact. She said to Kevin, but then Kevin telepathy to Kiana as he said. Kevin. Kiana, is it okay that we should reveal yourself to them that you are new god of heaven and the unknown deity? He asked her in telepathy which Kiana accepts it. Kiana. Well yes, I'll do it for now. I also wanted to reveal Asia that God is dead, but also a new leader of heaven that is seated at the throne of God. She said to Kevin, as Kevin nodded in understanding as he looked at them as he announced something. Kevin. Well then everyone, for those who doesn't know who is the unknown deity. Me, my parents and Kiana's parents, her teacher and even Gabriel here already knows who is this unknown deity. Now you will meet the new god of heaven who is in front of you, meet the Herrscher of Void, goddess Kiana. He said to them, which Kiana released too much Honkai energy. Luckily Kevin put a strong concealment barrier which it will never expose the strong aura to know where thus the aura located with. Kiana changed her school clothes into her Herrscher of Void clothes, which some of them look at her in shocked and fear that in front of them is the true goddess among them. But Kiana's power is extremely powerful. This made all of them except Kevin, Drake, Gabriel, Kevin's parents and Kiana's parent and teacher kneel down before her. Even if it's a human or supernatural, they were both struggling to get up, but no to avail they can't. However, Kiana suppressed her powers back to normal. Then the two goddesses were shocked that Kiana is the only strongest goddess on earth which they wanted to form the non-aggression pact with her faction to avoid war. Then Kiana talked to them as she said. Kiana. So, you want a non-aggression pact with us, heaven faction? Both goddess nodded at her saying yes. Kiana use her power to create the paper, which is a peace treaty form, then you should sign this papers which it fill with a peace between our alliance permanently. And if you broke our pact, you don't know what will happen if you face against a being or the strongest goddess who is the one seated at the throne of God on heaven. She said to them, which Artemis and Amaterasu shakes in fear before take the paper to sign in with their signature and write the faction name which Kiana takes the paper as she felt satisfied about their pact on them before she keep the papers in her void storage. After that, Asia, Zenobia and Irina walked to Kiana as Irina asked Kiana as she said. Irina. Wait, if you are the goddess or new leader of heaven, then where is he? She said to Kiana, which Kiana answered her. Kiana. You want to know why? Irina nodded as she wanted to know. Well, the god you knew before already he died in the war together with the three Satans. But Lucifer is definitely alive, though she remained hidden as she gave me her position of heiress of heaven, which I can rule the heaven instead of her. Moreover, there is no need to follow the church. Because I, as the new leader of heaven will give you three your own freedom. It's either you choose to live your life freely or devote your life to me for all eternity. She said to them, which Irina, Zenobia and Asia kneel before her as they said. Asia, Zenobia and Irina. We will devote our life to you, goddess Kiana. For you are our almighty goddess of heaven. They said in unison, but then Kiana said to Asia as she said. Kiana. Asia, I am deeply sorry for saying that God is no longer at heaven, but even if you were a devil. Do you wish to quit being a devil and join my faction or be a devil forever? It's your choice, Asia. She said to Asia, then Asia made her final decision as she said. Asia. My goddess, I already made a decision. I wanted to join in your faction and quit as a devil, and I don't want to live my life as a slave to that wrench master, Rias Gremory. She said to her, while saying about Ria's name and hate. Which Kevin and Kiana smirk at Asia's decision, not only Asia but others too. Yumi, Akeno and Kaneko. Even us too, we also don't want to be a servant of Gremory as we value our freedom than serving her like a dog or slave. They said in unison, which Kiana nodded as she immediately raised her hands to Asia while her other hand at Yumi, Akeno and Kaneko, which the orb glows revealing their evil pieces, as Kiana's hands turn into fist, which resulting the evil pieces, turn into shattered pieces which Asia and Yumi now turned into human again, while Akeno remained as fallen angel which she release her pair of dark feather wings and Kaneko is already now full-blooded Nakamata. But also, Kiana give them a blessing which is a power to enhance their skills and abilities, including a partial of immortality which they could live long. Kiana. Now that you're no longer a devil. But I recommend that you should get your other member here who is a devil vampire and a half-devil that me and Kevin sense on the other room at the academy. Also, there will be no problems about your weaknesses. And tips for you all, Yumi you have a sacred gear which is a combination of holy and demonic power, and this sword is called Sword of Betrayal. It is extremely powerful that rivals a holy sword Durandal and Excalibur, and that same goes to the demonic sword Gram, but weaker than the might of Anyudu and Issei, the sword of rupture that splits the heaven and earth. Next is Kaneko, you need to learn your Senjutsu in perfect way, and if you don't know what is Senjutsu. Senjutsu is a specialized field of techniques that allows the user to sense and then gather natural energy. Moreover, it only draws the energy of the nature and blend it as their strength or your own chakra. That's why the devils sent to kill all of the Nekomata and Nekashu on sight due to their own power, so they felt envious as they want to get more of you. Also, your oldest sister Kuroka is a victim from the experiment from Nibirius clan, which later she killed her master who is the head of the Nibirius, before she saved you and put you in Serzich's care, but Serzich's didn't realize about what happened to your people being massacred by the army of devil which he never sent them, instead it was the councils who take the action before it's too late. He couldn't defend your race, even he lose in the court of trials together with the other Satans, because of the majority vote from the councils and others that your race are considered as a threat. Moreover, you have other sibling which me and Kevin don't know who or where she is, and also she is between you and Kuroka, which means she is your second older sister. And next is you Akeno, you still have your power as a fallen angel, but don't hate yourself or your father. You see, when me and Kevin were practicing each other before, we met Azazel and your father Barakiel in our training ground at England. They told us that their other member named Kakabiel who just gone rogue because he wanted to start the war, but I also asked your father that if you relate to him, which your father confirmed. He told us about his story and afterwards, I decided to give your mother another chance to live in this world. Your father thanked me before they left to the Grigori, but if you want to visit them, better apologize to your father. And lastly, Asia you have immense holy power which you're now a saintess. But your looks will change sooner once you reach your powers at peak. That's all. She said to them, which Yumi has a chance to unlock her sacred gear within a day. Kaneko who already listened to Kiana now in shocked as she wanted to find her sister Kuroka and apologize her, but she also wanted to find her lost sister anywhere else. Akeno who just widened her eyes in shock as she learned that her mother is now alive, she wanted to thank her, but she also noted to herself that she will apologize to her father for hating him. Then Asia who smiled at Kiana that she had a chance to go back being a member of heaven and a saintess which her life is perfect for her, but Zenobia and Irina congratulate Asia that her wish as a saintess will come true. Then Kevin tells them that they need to sleep as he guides the two goddess, Gabriel and her two exorcists to their room, while Kiana also guides her parents and her sensei to their new rooms which they accepted before they went to sleep. The Akeno, Asia, Kaneko, and Yumi along with Kevin's parents go back to their rooms as Kiana and Kevin go to their room as they went inside. Kiana change her form into her school uniform as she undress her clothes and change it to her nightwear, while Kevin already wears his own pajama, which they are lying to the bed while hugging each other, waiting for their next day. Next day at morning, as the sun rises again, both couples hurry up again to do their routine. But this time, they cook another breakfast meal, but they knew that there are guests, so they cook ramen as their breakfast with pizza toast as their second meal. As they were done, all of them are present since they smell the scent of the food, now that everyone will taste the food of the god, once they eat it. They are now in heaven since the taste of ramen is better than most of ramen in every restaurant. This made Gabriel, Amaterasu and Artemis look at Kevin to get another bowl of ramen, which Kevin sigh himself as he give them other bowl of ramen to them. Well, too bad, since Kevin Issei is blessed by Kiana to have knowledge in cooking some top high class to supreme class food that rival from a certain red archer and married in an ease. After they are done eating, Kiana just told Artemis and Amaterasu to wait until they get back from academy, which they agreed to. Then Kiana, Kevin, Asia and her friends, but Yumi is now in male form again. Together with Gabriel and the two exorcists go to Kuo Academy by walking, which Kevin can't use his car and it is only 2 seats, not 4 to 8 seats, which he needs to buy a car or a van, but later on, he needs some time to think before spending his money. Either ways, when they arrived in Kuo for few hours, Kevin tells Gabriel, Irina and Zenobia not to create problem with Sona and her peerage, which Gabriel will take care of her exorcist. Then they both separate as Kevin, Kiana and Asia head to their own classroom. And after 9 hours at 3 p.m, Kiba came at Kevin's room as he said, Kiba. Excuse me again, sensei, can I have Kevin and Asia for a while, please? He said, but he knows that Kiana will come with Kevin, as Yukari said. Yukari. Of course you may, Kiba. Kevin and Asia, please go with Kiba for a while. I'll just give you homework later on. She said to them, but Kiana raised her hand saying, Kiana. Yukari-sensei, may I also come with Kevin? Because I couldn't leave him at the hands of that red-haired who just hurt my lover's feelings. She asked permission to Yukari, which Yukari nodded to her to join them. After that, 4 of them went to the Orc clubhouse as they arrived, but Kiba, Akeno, Kaneko, and Asia pretend that they were still under Ria's control as they went inside at Orc office. We saw Rias seating on the sofa, but she had a scar which is now permanent, but when Rias saw Kiana, she is angry as she said, Rias. What is Kiana doing here? I already said this to you, Kiba, that you should not let her join with my ice. She said, but Kiba shake his head saying, Kiba. It's useless, President. Kiana will do as her wish to be with Kevin, and also, he is not Issei for Satan's sake, God's sake, you actually never learn, aren't you? He said to Rias, which Rias doesn't any have choice as she look at Kiana in hate as she turns to her guest as she said, Rias. And now, what are you doing here at my territory, exorcists? She said to them while glaring, but then Gabriel said to her, Gabriel. You never learn, aren't you, Gremory? My name is Archangel Gabriel, and this too is Zenobia, the wielder of Excalibur Destruction, and Irina, the wielder of Excalibur Mimicry. We are sent here to retrieve the other Excalibur from the fallen angels, but I suggest you not to interfere our plans. This is between Church and the fallen angels, Gremory. She said to Rias, Gremory, but then Rias glares at Gabriel saying, Rias. So you're saying that we devils allied with the fallen angels, have you forgot that us devils are incapable of holding holy swords like Excalibur? She said to them, but Zenobia glares at Rias saying, Zenobia. Don't you dare raise your voice at Lady Gabriel, moreover you devils despise his holy sword, you're in same position as fallen angels as always. She said to Rias, but Rias glares at them, releasing her minimum amount of pod. Heaven. Ho, you think that you are able to go against those exorcists, Gremory? He thought himself, which Ria's powers is very weak compared to the Excalibur Destruction, which is fake, but also have the powers like the true Excalibur. Zenobia. If we must, we will completely destroy you. Even if you are the sister of the current Satan Lucifer. She said to Rias, which Rias said to them, Rias. If you know that much already, then let me tell you something else. I will never side with the fallen angels. In the name of Gremory, I swear I will never do anything to humiliate the Satans. She said in pride, but unknown to Rias her arrogance will be her downfall, as Kiana said. Kiana. Really? Then tell me this, Rias, if you said those words, then why did you let Kevin, or should I say Issei, died after he was been killed by Rainer? Not only that, all of the angels of heaven including archangels saw what you did, you just let the stray devils and rogue fallen angels to roam in your territory. This will lead for Shinto faction to broke the pact of alliance with devils since you're neglecting to protect the Kuo town and its people. At least Sona did her job on eliminating stray devils and rogue angels. She said to her, but Rias is now angry as she shouted at Kiana saying, Rias. Why don't you dare say that anything to me, you BTH, I rule this territory and I will take care of this problem, not you nor Sona, she said, but Kiana shake her head as she turned her head to Kevin and Gabriel saying, Kiana. Kevin, let's go now. We are wasting our time here, I want to prevent this worthless conflict with Rias. And also Gabriel, bring your exorcist back to our home. I also wanted to go home early since we have assignment to do, plus we also have visitor coming at home. She said to them, which Kevin and Gabriel nodded as they were about to leave. Rias interfered them saying, Rias. By the way, would you like have some tea, exorcist? She asked them, but then Irina said to Rias, Irina. Not a chance, we would prefer Kiana's tea than yours, devil. She said as both of them leave at Orc Clubhouse. But Rias is now enraged, which Rias' peerage leave her behind as Rias thought herself. Rias. Just you wait Kiana, I will humiliate you in worse way, and I will never give up until I have my revenge she thought to herself, but in her dreams since she can't able to defeat Kiana, and she doesn't know that this will trigger war in Underworld if this goes further. Location. Kevin's mansion. After classes, both of them went home as Kevin, Kiana, and Gabriel sent so many demonic energy inside Kevin's mansion. This make them think that Lucifer's family is arrived so Kevin, Kiana and Gabriel rush inside the mansion confusing Asia, Irina, Zenobia, Kaneko, Akeno and Yumi in her female form, but soon they follow them. As they arrived in the living room, they saw Lucifer and her family talking with Kiana's parents and teacher, together with Kevin's parents and even Artemis and Amaterasu, as they look at them which Lucifer greeted them. Lucifer. Oh hi there Kiana and Kevin. And is that my younger sister Gabriel, oh why don't you give a hug to your sister? She said as she opened her arms for Gabriel, but soon Gabriel reject her as she said. Gabriel. No thank you sis. I prefer Kevin's hug over you, Lucifer Neeson. She said to her, but soon Lucifer slumped on the floor in defeat, but Lilith came at Lucifer's side to comfort her. Lilith Livan Lucifer mother of devils, mother of Rizavam Lucifer, grandmother of Razavan Lucifer and Iblis Lucifer, and the great-grandmother of the current White Dragon Emperor, and heir of Lucifer clan. Lilith. It's okay Lucy, I'm here with you. She patted her hand at Lucifer's head which Lucifer calms down with tear eyes, then Lilith turns to Kevin and Kiana as she said greetings Kevin and Kiana, my name is Lilith Livan Lucifer, wife of Lucifer, but soon to be wife of Kevin Kaslana, pleasure to meet you. She said as she self-proclaims herself as a soon-to-be Kevin's wife. But soon everyone jaw-dropped including Lucifer as she said. Lucifer. No fair Lilith are you stealing my Kevin from me and Kiana, I thought we could share with each other as a harem, she said to Lilith, but then Lilith giggled softly as she apologized to Lucifer for the sudden words. But then, Lucifer and Lilith's child Rizavam Lucifer said to Kevin. Rizavam Livan Lucifer son of Lucifer and Lilith, father of Razavan and Iblis Lucifer, and the grandfather of the White Dragon Emperor and heir of the Lucifer clan. Rizavam. I've never expected that both my mothers are into you. Either ways, my name is Rizavam Livan Lucifer, son of Lucifer and Lilith, it's a pleasure to meet you, Kevin Atausen. He said to Kevin, but then Kevin said to Rizavam. Kevin. Don't take it seriously on calling me your father. Just Kevin will be alright, and I also didn't know why your mothers are into me, are they lesbians before they became bisexual? He asked him, but Rizavam nodded as yes which Kevin thinks that they are now same as Kiana in her past, which he shrugged it as Rizavam introduced his family to them. Rizavam. Oh I almost forgot, let me introduce my family, the blonde-haired woman with red horns is my wife Scarlet Lucifer, then my butler's name is Euclid Lucifuge. And my child Razavan Livan Lucifer who have white hair with blue streak bangs and Iblis Lucifer who has the same looks as her mother, but she prefers dark clothes with revealing outfit and a crown on her horn. She is the strongest superclass devils, and she also prefer call her title as a strongest archdemon that rivals the heavens and hells. And then we have a female human who is Razavan Lucifer's wife and my daughter-in-law, Venice Lucifer, but my granddaughter is not yet here, since she is with her teacher Azazel to find Kakabiel around the Kuo, so she will come here for a while. He said to Kevin and everyone about his family which they are really a big family than Kevin and Kiana's family. Scarlet Lucifer wife of Rizavam Livan Lucifer, a mother of Razavan and Iblis Lucifer, and a grandmother of the current White Dragon Emperor and heir of Lucifer clan. Euclid Lucifuge right hand of Rizavam Lucifer, older brother of Graphia Lucifuge and a butler of the Lucifer clan. Razavan Livan Lucifer son of Rizavam and Scarlet Lucifer, grandson of Lucifer and Lilith, older brother of Iblis Lucifer and husband of Venice Lucifer and father of the current White Dragon Emperor and heir of Lucifer clan. Venice Lucifer wife of Razavan and the mother of the current White Dragon Emperor and heir of Lucifer clan. Iblis Lucifer daughter of Rizavam and Scarlet Lucifer, younger sister of Razavan Lucifer, aunt of Razavan's child and a granddaughter of Lucifer and Lilith. As Rizavam introduced his family to them, which Kevin nodded his head to them saying welcome to our humble home, then Lucifer's family nodded back to him. Then Kevin saw something in the some-like coffin, he asked them saying. Kevin. Say, what is inside the coffin, is there someone else inside of it? He asked them, then Razavan answered him saying. Razavan. Well Kevin, this coffin is someone else from the clan, which is the trustworthy of the Lucifer whose family name is Leviathan. He said to Kevin as Iblis continued for her brother's word saying. Iblis. Also Kevin, this person inside the coffin is no other than the heiress and the Leviathan's descendant named Ingvild Leviathan. She is a superclass devil just like me, but she have a disease which is called as devil sleeping disease, which is rare disease for devils, so we steal her from Kateria Leviathan, who is her aunt and a member of the terrorist called Cow's Brigade. It is a good thing that my father never joined that group as he prioritized us his family over that throne of Satan's. We just left to the other underworld and we are been keeping under protection of God Hades. In the end, when my grandmother Lucifer arrived at our home, we decided to come with her, since we need someone who is stronger to protect us from Cow's brigade. She said to Kevin with enough information, which Kevin nodded as he looked inside as he opened it, revealing purple-haired girl sleeping peacefully. But then Kiana came to Kevin's side as she said, "Kiana. She seems pretty beautiful like me, but I think I have a solution for this, let me handle it." She said as she creates a gem using her void powers, which it is green color representing as a healing gem, then she places it at Ingvild's chest. Healing gem made by Kiana Kaslana. Once it entered, Ingvild opens her eyes that she is now awake, revealing her orange eyes. As she looks around to see most of the people who are new to her as she have shy face as she said, Ingvild Leviathan, descendant of Leviathan and soon to be second alpha lover of Issei Kevin Kaslana. Ingvild. Hey, who are you, where am I, and what happened to me while I was gone to sleep? She asked herself, then Kevin calmed her down saying, Kevin. Easy there Ingvild, it's okay, and by the way my name is Kevin Kaslana and this woman besides me is my lover Kiana Kaslana, she is the one who heal your sickness. Where you are is you're here at my mansion, my home to be exact in Kuo town, and what happened is time passes by for many years since the Lucifer's family steal you away from your evil aunt Kateria and her group called the Cow's Brigade. He said to Ingvild as he explains more of it, which Ingvild realized that she needs to move on and learn anything since she is now in the human world. Ingvild. I see, then I thank you for your care, and also Kevin, take responsibility to me since you're the one who explained it a lot and I've been dragged here in the human world. She said to him, which Kevin have a blank face connecting on what Ingvild said. But then a laugh came from Rizavam, Razavan, Goru, Siegfried, Euclid and Drake, who went out of Kevin's body and forming his little dragon form, they laugh so loud as they are rolling on the ground non-stop, while Mickey, Cecilia, Scarlet, Asia, Venice and Himeko giggles softly. But an immense unholy and holy aura came out which revealed Kiana and the others who have love interest with Kevin, having Yandir looks even Artemis, who seems love Kevin as he is gentleman, and a less pervert like her dearest Orion, as she is now obsessed to Kevin. While Amaterasu choose Kevin since she found him worthy as her husband, and she will give her virginity to Kevin, but only Kiana will give her virginity to Kevin, as she will be the first to claim Kevin as hers. As Kevin shakes in fear as he saw his father Goru and father-in-law Siegfried give him thumbs up, which Kevin cursed them mentally. So then, he was grabbed by Kiana and lead them to their rooms but then, Kiana told the girls as she said, Kiana. I made a decision today that Kevin will have a harem, however I will be his alpha lover. And I also bet that the second alpha will be Ingvild Leviathan, and the third alpha is Lucifer together with Lilith, and as for the fourth alpha girl, it will be announced another day or week or so on. Now are we clear about this, everyone? She said to those girls who have love interest to Kevin, which all of them shouted as they're agreeing with Kiana's decision. Well, Kevin wished that he never wanted to have a harem and he regretted it for granting his wish, but then Kiana smirked at Kevin before taking him to the room to give him a painful punishment, which Kevin wanted to say help to them while he was dragged by her. When they reach in the bedroom, Kiana closed the door and locked it, and then, a loud thud and noise coming inside, which the voices belonged to Kevin as Kiana punish him for being lucky harem king, while she teach him a lesson not to cheat on her and treat them all with same care and love. This made Goru, Siegfried, Rizavam and Razavan pray for Kevin, hoping that he survive as they said. All males except Euclid, we pray for you Kevin. Please be safe from the wrath of Kiana Kaslana. I'll remind you that you must treat her with care and love or else you will meet the same fate as me. They said in unison, then Goru and Siegfried shivers before they were pulled by their respective wife into their room for punishment. While Rizavam and Razavan saw this, they immediately rush on the main door exit, but they were caught easily by their own wife, which they have scary smile. Then Rizavam begged mercy to Lucifer and Lilith for help, but none of them will help Rizavam, which both father and son were surrender themselves to their wives as they were completely dragged in other room. While other girls just watched them while listening to their screams, which it is a music to their ears. Third Pav. In the hotel, a man whose name is Azazel who is currently drinking his beer as he said to his student. Azazel. Well, what a day, say Vali, I heard that your family is moving here in Kuo town, why is that? He said as the person who is a girl with silver hair and ruby eyes that can rivals Kiana's beauty, who is name as Valiana Lucifer or Vali Lucifer. Valiana Lucifer, Vali Lucifer, current white dragon empress and the heiress of the Lucifer clan. Vali. Well, it is Azazel sensei, however it is surprised that my great-grandmother Lucifer is still alive. She said that I must be in that place where she and my family went, and she said that she have met the red dragon emperor. I couldn't believe that my great-grandmother met him before me. But she also said that his blood is powerful and he has deemed himself as strongest human among humans. But I could sense her that she is telling the truth. I will meet him tomorrow at his home since she gave me the exact location where I should visit them. She said to Azazel, which Azazel commented as he said. Azazel, oh yes Kevin Kaslana. The strongest human and known by the heaven as the deliverance. He is the overseer of the human world. I also gather information that he slay more than 100,000 of stray devils using his bare hands and even using true Excalibur and the might of Anyudu. I've never imagined that he may hold the boosted gear, but also that unknown sword called the might of Anyudu is extremely powerful than the Excalibur and on par as Issei, the sword of rupture. But be careful Vali, he is not an easy target as he is the one that rivals all beings except Kiana Kaslana, who is now strongest deity, and both of them are equal in terms of power. If I were you, I would retreat from Kevin since he is consider himself as the world serpent as his other titles. He said to Valiana, which Valiana nodded in understanding as she stand up and walked to the door, but before she leave, she asked Azazel as she said. Valiana. Say Azazel, can I ask him to revive Raynor in different person? I also heard that Kiana is capable of reviving someone else, maybe she can alter Raynor's appearance and personality, if that is okay to you, Azazel. She asked him, which Azazel nodded as Valiana left him alone, while Azazel just keep drinking his beer, as everything will goes worst as Kakabiel will appear in Kuo soon. While outside the hotel, Valiana who is now walking on the side lanes, Valiana have a small sack of bag, which revealed the black feathers of Raynor as she said. Valiana. Well this will be your second chance to redeem yourself, Raynor. Not a same person, but as different person so you will be reborn yourself as Olivia Grigori, daughter of Azazel Grigori and a new Raynor. She said as she keep the small sack of bag in her pockets before she walk under the moonlight in the road. Chapter 6. Stray priest and exorcist, meeting White One and a certain fighter girl. Third Pav. In the morning, Kevin and Kiana wake up before they get ready for the school. They do the same routine as usual which Kevin, Kiana and the others were ready going back to the school. Cecilia, Siegfried and Himeko bid farewell to Kiana for her studies, which Kiana smiled as she says her goodbyes. While Gabriel and the two exorcists along with Artemis who is experienced in hunting and fighting monsters, they told Kiana that they need to wander around to search for the clues where the stray priest and other exorcist with the Cerberus. Kiana said to them and good luck, but Kevin thinks of it about where is the rogue fallen angel is, so he need to wait on the night time. Kuo Academy. When they are arrived in Kuo, they did study their lesson from their advisor Yukari in 3 hours before break time. All students were eating their recess meals. Asia stayed with Kaneko and Kiba on the canteen, while Kiana and Kevin were on the rooftop discussing their plan for tonight as Kiana said. Kiana. So let me get this straight, you're saying that tonight, we will hunt the remaining stray exorcist and priest in Kuo town. Are you sure about that? She asked him in confusion, which Kevin nodded as he said. Kevin. Of course, but we need Yumi, Kaneko, Gabriel, Irina, Zenobia, Artemis, and even Saji Genshiro which I ask permission from Sona, also she orders me that I must return Saji safe and sound. HNN, how lucky that Saji have won over Sona's love by playing chess which he win against her, so they will be getting engaged in marriage after high school days. He said to Kiana, well he doesn't know why, but he wish Saji's luck to be his lucky day. But the Kaslana also have X luck which Kevin himself have a harem protagonist X skills and he is almost same as a certain red archer from another world. Kiana. Well yeah, I've also congratulate Sona for her new fiancé, but she even picked me as her brideswoman, while Saji choose you to be his best man. Well it is unlucky for us that Yumi isn't a male but female. She said to him, which Kevin sighed and depressed as he said. Kevin. Enough of that, let's go back to our plans. Say, is Fried still active, what are the reports from him? He asked her which Kiana told him saying. Kiana. Well Fried said to me that Kakabiel and his group of fallen angels are on the way tomorrow night that's what he said, but he doesn't know if Kakabiel's plan has been changed. So today, we will meet him in Valper Galilee. There are no stray exorcists left since they were disposed by you and your group before when you saved Asia in the past. She said to Kevin, which Kevin nodded as he said. Kevin. I see, in that case we should follow the plans wisely, but if Kakabiel's plans change. We will need to advance since his priority target was the two-sister of Mao. But I won't help Rias, she will die by his hands as I don't care about her, so I better help Sona and her peerage than that red-haired Gremory. It's just a waste of my time, but the problem is Serzich is Lucifer himself, he will possibly mark me as a traitor. He said to Kiana, which Kiana said to Kevin. Kiana. Speaking of Serzich's, he will not mark you as a traitor, and if he does, then we will go all out of war. If he wants to let his whole race turn into extinction because of his dumb decision, this will be chaos and destruction for them. But I also gather information from the heaven system that Rias has another twin sister. Unlike Rias, she is completely opposite side of her, she is cold, heartless person. She rarely talks to her parents and her brother, but her parents and brother loves her, she usually train herself in both physical and magical powers. But she was also struck by the same disease as Ingvald. This made Rias take a chance on claiming her title as heiress, but that title is supposed to be belong to Rias' twin sister, not Rias herself. She said to Kevin which Kevin pick his interest that there is another Gremory who's different than Rias herself. But then, Kevin tells Kiana as he said. Kevin. Very well then, it seems we have a good candidate to watch over Kuo than that red-haired slut. I hope that she is more mature than Rias herself, moreover I wish to talk to Serziches on this terms, if he accepted, then we will mate her as an official heiress of Gremory, instead of Rias Gremory. He said to Kiana, which she nodded on his plans as they were now eating their own meal before heading back to the class, as their time for break time is over. They will wait for their class to be done before gather everyone who are in the list to hunt down a stray priest. Location. Abandoned church. As their class is over, Kevin and Kiana immediately head to the abandoned church together with Kaneko, Kiba in his male form, to avoid exposing his secrets to Valper himself, Gabriel, Irina, Zenobia, Artemis and Saji who are already present. As for Asia, she headed back home and Akeno, she needs to keep in check to Rias, so she will notify Kevin if Rias will appear to him, which Kevin also ready his emergency teleportation just in case if Rias appears to them. But then, he also told everyone as they said, Kevin. Okay everyone, you need to wear this priest clothes as a disguise that you're the other stray exorcist. Well except for Irina and Zenobia who have holy cloak with them. As for me and Kiana, we will change our school uniform into our battlesuit, just wait for a minute, okay? He tells them, as everyone nodded to him, which all of them take a dress with the priest clothes, while Kevin wears his world serpent clothes, while Kiana who is now wearing her divine prayer battlesuit. Kevin's world serpent battlesuit, Kiana's divine prayer battlesuit. As they were all done in their clothes battlesuit, Kevin also told their plan as he said. Kevin. Alright here is the plan, all we have to do is to split up since large group will not work. Now Zenobia, Irina, Gabriel and Artemis, all of you will go to the west side, while me, Kiana, Kiba, Saji and Kaneko will search to the east side. I will give a call to Irina if we found anything or we were under attack by the stray exorcist. He said to them, which all of them acknowledge his plans. But then Zenobia said something to Kevin. Zenobia. By the way Kevin Sama, you are a red dragon emperor that is according to Gabriel Sama's information, right? We already know that the white one is awakened so be careful when you meet him or her. She said to Kevin, which Kevin narrowed his eyes as he already knows who is the white one, according to Rizavam's information. Then their plan is started as they immediately split up and wander around at nighttime without a single person outside at night. This made all of them curious that there are no stray exorcists wander around as Kevin said. Kevin. There are no signs of them, it seems that they're hiding in less populated area. How about let's check on the abandoned building or park if there are any signs of them. What do you think? He said to them, which Kiana and others agreed to him. Then they headed to the abandoned building which it is the place where Kevin Issei and his former peerage member killed Visor in his first trial of killing stray devils. Kevin pities Visor for her previous life as he prays for her to be reborn in the other world, where she can be live in peace. As they were enter that place, Kiana who sensed the presence of the Excalibur and she immediately summoned her keys of the void, while Kevin bring out his judgment of Shamash. When they saw this, there is a sound which they both look up to see Fried standing at the roof as he jumped down striking Kiba. Luckily Kiba managed to summon his demonic sword to defend himself which he blocked the attack and forced Fried to retreat back to his position saying. Fried Selson. Fried. How you doing all? Nice to see you again he said which Kiba and others except Saji saw him again, which Kiba is really angry seeing him holding Excalibur. Kiba. You again he said, which Fried laughs at them as he said. Fried. Oh. If it isn't the kids and little me Kaneko glares at him. Oops I mean little lady. Damn I thought I saw some fresh meat walking around, but it turns out that it was piece of devil cosplaying as a priest. MHM. He said to them as he licks his Excalibur piece. But when he noticed Kevin and Kiana he immediately went down as he kneels down to them saying. Fried. It's been a while Kevin and Kiana. It seems that this devils are your allies, but let me warn you. Valper is here so we need to act as natural. I don't want him to suspect me as a spy. He said to them, surprising Kiba, Kaneko and Saji that Kevin and Kiana knew Fried who is bowing down to them. But they need to act in natural to avoid suspicion to Fried's contract, so they're ready their position to fight against Fried. Then Kevin used his judgment of Shamash to transform into Cleaver of Shamash which he did it. As they are ready, Kiba attacked Fried first, but Fried managed to evade him as he jumped up to the rooftop, then Kiba pursued him, but Fried is too fast to evade Kiba's attack. Fried tells him. Fried. Haha, that's no use, what I have here in my hands is Excalibur rapidly. That's why I'm too fast to evade your attacks, haha he said to Kiba, but Kiba also doesn't have night peace since Kiana made him human again. But she gives him the power of a knight strength, endurance and speed, which is very useful to counterattack his enemies. But then, Fried who was in midair, feels something behind him as he looks back only to see Kevin who's about to strike him with his Cleaver of Shamash from above at fast pace. Fried knows what Kevin's sword is capable of, so he used his sword to block the surprise attack above, but it knocked him down at the rooftop by Kevin's brute force. Then Fried got up and evaded Kevin's another attack, as Fried used the Excalibur's speed ability to move faster and faster, which both swordsmen pursued each other non-stop, rivaling their own top speed. As for Kiana, Kaneko and Saji who are watching them both, Saji and Kaneko jaw-dropped while Kiana who is watching them with a smirk as she said, "Kiana. So how is Kevin's power? Now that you witness his skills and power, no one is capable of defeating him. But however, Kaneko tell Irina that we found them and tell the exact location as soon as possible, and Saji you need to use your absorption line right now, understood?" She said to them, which Kaneko contacts Irina for a while, then Saji also respond as he said, "Saji. Understood Kiana-san let's go, absorption line." He said as he chanted his sacred gear which had appeared in left arm. Once he summoned his sacred gear, he fires the line onto Fried's leg which Fried noticed it, but it was too late for him as he was pulled back to the rooftop again with a small crater. Fried felt pain over his body as he barely stand up and try to cut the line, but it's no useless as Fried said. Fried. Damn it this is dragon artifact too he said as he keeps slashing the line itself, but then Kevin summoned his sacred gear boosted gear, which is now modified in better version thanks to Kiana's work. He chant boost in 10 times before transferring the boosted power to Kiba which would enhance his sacred gear sword birth as Kevin said. "Kevin. Use my power that I transferred to you as you wish. But don't kill him, he is our ally and a spy to our enemy, is that understood?" He said to Kiba, which Kiba understood as he said. "Kiba. Understood Kevin let's go, sword birth," he said as he chant his power before stabbing on the ground as the power itself summoning numerous blades beneath the ground as it went towards Fried. As Fried sees this, he screamed in fear as he fights back by destroying the numerous demonic swords side by side with enough speed. But then someone spoke from the shadow. Sword birth," he said through the shadow. But then, Kiba noticed that voice as he said, "Kiba. Who's there?" he said but the unknown person speak continuously as he said, "But the right person, that sacred gear can become more powerful weapon there is." He walks out of the shadow place as he look up to Fried. "Fried, you're still not used on using holy sword, aren't you?" he said from Kiba to Fried, which it appears to be a priest. Fried. "Oh it's you, old man Valper," he said to him, revealing the priest name is Valper Galilei, leader of the Holy Sword Project and an exiled holy priest. Kiba. "Nani," he said in exclaim which he is now in rage wanted to kill him. Which Saji and Kaneko left shock while Kevin shouted at Valper saying, "Kevin. Valper Galilei, a leader of Holy Sword Project and the exiled priest who lost faith to the Almighty God and to the archangels. Moreover, still obsessed on the Excalibur, aren't you old bastard priest," he said to Valper, which Valper has a tick mark on his forehead as he asked him. "Valper. And who might you be, man in dark cloak?" he said as he looks at Kevin's arms that has a red dragon arm scales with green orb and he widened his eyes as he said, "Wait a second, aren't you the red dragon emperor," he said to him while hiding his anger and fear to him. "Kevin. Seems you know that I am the red one and also, why should I tell you my name to the unworthy peasants or mongrel like you, exiled priest?" he said to him, but then Valper have enough of him as he said. "Valper. I have enough of you, Red Dragon Emperor Fried, put the power flowing with your body into your blade, it can able to cut the absorption line in ease," he shouted, but Fried couldn't careless as he did what Valper advised to him. "Fried. Flowing power into your blade." He chanted it as he power up himself before cutting the line in ease, which made Saji fall down in his ass. Fried. "I see, now I can take advantage my holy power and power up." Well then, he looks at Kiba, but Kiba pretends to be shocked since they need to take this action ongoing. "How about we stain with my sword with your blood, huh?" he said as he launched himself upward to strike Kiba below, but before Kiba could defend himself, someone interfere which is Zenobia using her Excalibur destruction to block Fried's attack. This made Fried confuse himself about the exorcist appearing in front of him. But then, Gabriel, Irina and Artemis came at Kiana's side, which Artemis removed the priest cloak since they have arrived while holding the enchanted beautiful longbow. Then Zenobia said to those exiled priest and stray exorcist. "Zenobia. Blasphemer Fried sells and then Valper Galilei, in the name of God, I swear that I'll punish you," she said to the exiled Fried and Valper, but Fried comment her. "Fried. Don't you ever say that name in front of me, I'm sorry Kiana and Kevin, please punish me later after facing Kakabiel," he said to Zenobia, while mentally said it. But unbeknownst to Fried that Kevin and Kiana heard those words by invading his mind which they noted it later. Then Kiba appeared above Zenobia as he tried to strike Fried, but Fried evades and jumps back where he landed besides Valper. But then Valper sees Artemis and Kiana unbeknownst to him about the face of Gabriel which he never noticed, which Artemis loading her arrows in her bow filling with divine power, while Kiana ready to pull the trigger of her guns which he turned and tells Fried what to do. "Valper. Fried, your job is to eliminate the church spies. Besides, they also have holy swords with them. So we need to retreat now before those women's will strike us with divine arrow and a gun over there. He tells Fried his mission, which Fried nodded as he picked on his pocket, revealing a rune which Kevin, Kiana and Artemis knew what he is holding now is the rune which contained flashbang to blind them, which is very useful for their escape. But before Artemis release her bowstring and Kiana pulls the gun triggers, Fried slam the rune to blind them before the two stray exorcists escape which Kiana and Artemis lower their weapon, but then Zenobia and Kiba jumps down, and they start chasing those exiled church member, as Zenobia tells Irina and Gabriel as she said. Zenobia. Irina let's go, and Gabriel Sama please don't come with us, just stay with Kevin, Kiana and others for a moment. We will come back safely, we promise. She said to them, which Gabriel couldn't do anything but stay with them, while Irina joined Kiba and Zenobia on the hunt. As Kevin gets down from the rooftop as he told them saying, Kevin. Saji and Kaneko, just cover our escape for a while. Akeno calls me that Rias and Sona is coming for you too, I will not spend my time with that red-haired, do I make myself clear? Both of them nodded alright then, but before we go back Kiana create a portal now before we will get caught by Rias. He said to her, which Kiana use her void powers to summon the portal, then she along Kevin, Gabriel and Artemis entered the portal leaving Kaneko and Saji as the portal closed behind. This made look behind them showing Sona and Tsubaki with Rias and Akeno appeared in their place, then Kaneko got a few spanks from Rias, while Saji received 1,000 spanks from Sona. At least, Kevin is not in Rias' peerage since he is now with Kiana Kaslana. Location. Kevin's home. As Kevin, Kiana and Artemis arrived home, they head inside the door, only to be greeted by Asia together with Lucifer, Lilith, Iblis, Amaterasu and even Ingvild wearing in their thick, short-made clothes and apron which they revealed their panties without wearing top clothing. This made Kevin nosebleed himself while Kiana, Gabriel and Artemis jaw-dropped at what they are looking at, which both girls in thick-made clothes said to them. Asia, Lucifer, Lilith, Iblis and Ingvild. Welcome home, Master Kevin, Miss Kiana, Miss Artemis and Miss Gabriel. They said in unison while bowing down to them. The newcomers don't know what to say, but then, Kevin asked them with a question. Kevin. Tell me, who is the person forces you to wear those clothes? He asked them, which both of those girls look at Asia which Asia said to them. Asia. My classmate Ika told me that this is the best to soothe the tired ladies and gentlemen. She said to them, which Kevin and Kiana have tick mark on their forehead saying. Kevin and Kiana. That four-eyed pervert girl again, huh? They said in unison on how and why Ika tainted these innocent golden angel and even their innocent little leviathan into losing their innocence, but they wanted to teach her a lesson. Kevin. Either ways, better change your clothes now. And where are those guys, I thought they were here. He said and asked them, but then Lucifer tells him as she said. Lucifer. They were at the casino, those people who goes there were yours and Kiana's father, my son and grandson together with Euclid. I've also convinced Euclid to guard them, and if they were drinking alcohol, Euclid will force himself to take them home if that is possible. She said to him, but Kevin and Kiana didn't know that their father are after the casino for jackpot and alcohols which both of their fathers were practically idiots. They pray for Euclid to take them home quickly or else they will go there and force them to come back home. And then, Iblis told Kevin and Kiana as she said. Iblis. By the way, Mickey, Cecilia, my mother and Venice were go for shopping night and as for Himeko, she is drunk at the living room with our guest who is my niece. She said to them, which Kiana facepalm as she also forgot that her aunt Sensei is actually an alcoholic person, but this caught their attention that Iblis said that her niece is here. Kevin. Speaking of her, what is the name of the wielder of divine dividing? He asked them, which Lilith answered him. Lilith. Oh, my great-granddaughter's name was Valiana Lucifer or other name is Vali Lucifer. And also, she is a quite battle maniac and a strong fighter girl. So just tease or touch her sensitive spot on her skin which it will make herself weak because that is what I did before when she was in her young age. She said while giggling which Kevin will take her advice. Then they head to the living room revealing a beautiful silver hair with ruby eyes which is exact opposite from Kiana's appearance which she is also as beautiful as her mother and aunt. But right now, she is currently eating a ramen in cup noodles pack which this made Kevin drools as he wanted to eat ramen. This made Valiana notice it and she offers him another ramen cup noodles, which Kevin gladly takes it as he nods to thank her which she nods back. This made all girls except Valiana face palm their face as they also know that Kevin is very addicted when it comes to the ramen. After they were done eating, Valiana tells Kevin about something. Ali. I see, so you know my name isn't it? Kevin nodded at her confirming as a yes, and you're Kevin Kaslana or your previous name as Issei Haidu, right? Kevin glares at her which she yelped in fear as she said wait, you don't have to be like that, actually I was curious about your name, being a red one and the guardian of heaven known as Deliverance. You're actually strong aren't you? She said which Kevin crossing his arm as he said. Kevin. Indeed white one. Say that you're powerful like your grandfather Rizavam, but not as same as your great-grandmothers and your aunt. Iblis told me that you are a good fighter, but you are still weak to face me. Even without using my own sacred gear is enough to face you unless it's necessary if I were to fight gods or evil gods. He said to her, which Vali whistled as she said something important. Ali, I see, then that makes sense, that you're out of my league so, while your power is very supreme than mine Kevin. And also, do you know who is Raynor, aren't you? Kevin narrowed his eyes while nodding at her. How I am going to say this, Raynor is my only best friend ever since we were kids, she is very energetic, positive, and lovely person before. But one day, she changed herself into rude and cruel person which I found out that she is killing most of the people, especially the sacred gear wielders. But what surprised me is she is being controlled by Kakabiel himself, which is why Kakabiel and his rogue group including Raynor escaped to another place as they want another war for their own desires due to the humiliation that they left. A few years has passed, when I was searching Kakabiel around the Kuo, I sense Raynor's energy so I went there, but only to find out that it was too late to save her life. She just died by the hands of that Gremory. Even if I wanted to avenge my friend, I couldn't do it which it will bring nothing. Before I left, I saw you holding her black feathers when you cried for her before you say goodbyes to her and drop her black feathers together with the necklace. Once you with the Gremory peerage disappeared, I decided to take her feathers and necklace just in case, since I was planning for her to resurrect in another body, before I will find someone who can do that. She said to him, which Kevin have his face in disbelief that all his life with Raynor who is really innocent. He thought that Raynor is a villain, but much to his surprise, Raynor who has been controlled by Kakabiel. So he decided to mark his target which is Kakabiel, because he wanted him die, rather than letting him prison in the eternal ice prison, Cocytus. Heaven. I see, if that case, we will resurrect Raynor, but you said you want her to resurrect in different person, am I right? He said to Vali, which she nodded as yes before handing the small sack of bag with Raynor's feather inside and the blood of Azazel. This made Kevin think about it as he said mentally. Kevin. Just what are you planning at, Azazel? Are you trying to make Raynor as your daughter? Sigh only one way to find out. He thought, as he takes it and lead them to the unused room that they reserved for the laboratory, which Kiana decided to create a crest of resurrection on the ground. Once they are done, Kevin placed the Raynor's feather on the crest together with blood of Azazel which he did before Kiana do the rest as she chant unknown language which both of them, Artemis, Amaterasu, and other girls who is behind Kevin. Then a sudden wind force happened which all of them hiding behind the things as Kevin stands still while Drake who went to check what is happening which he transformed into a little dragon, but he was getting blown away by the brute force wind which he said. Drake. Nani why is this happening to me, Kevin and Kiana? He said to them which he slammed his body to the wall behind the girls who is hiding in their place. Which both girls facepalm at Drake for being an idiot, but then Albion who is in sacred gear dividing, shock as he said. Albion. Wait Drake, is that you how come? And why are you free from your sacred gear? He asked him, which Drake answered him with a reaction of it is a secret. This made Albion roared in frustration inside of the sacred gear while cursing himself and felt envious about how lucky that Drake is free from his sacred gear. After Kiana finished chanting the resurrection ritual, this made look at the person standing on the floor, revealing a person who is now completely different in her appearance, which that person have long blonde hair with ruby eyes and a pair of horns with a 6 fallen angel wings, as her wings shines in midnight with tainted red tips on her end of the feather wings. She is Raynor in person but different appearance as she looks at them as she said. Olivia Grigori new fallen angel, full-blooded daughter of Azazel Grigori and a new Raynor. Raynor? Oh my head it hurts. She hold her head, but she endures it as she saw them and stands still. I never thought that I will be alive, it takes me a lot of pain that Kakabiel controls me for his deeds. Either ways, it's good to see you Vali and you too, Issei are known as Kevin. She said as she combing her beautiful golden hair with her fingers. But this made Kevin glare her, but Raynor raised her hands to stop as she said. Olivia. I mean no harm, I am also with you inside your body which I was a soul before you resurrect me back to life. But since I'm no longer Raynor this time, my official name is Olivia Grigori, a new Raynor and a full-blooded daughter of Azazel. It's nice to meet you. She said as she introduced herself as Olivia instead of Raynor. This made Kevin look at her which he sighed himself as he said to her. Kevin. Well Olivia, it's nice to meet you too. I've also don't have grudge against you, instead I have grudge against Rias because she betrays me. But I cannot have you as my main lover. He said as Olivia sighed as she said. Olivia. I see, so that means your main lover is Kiana Kaslana. The one who is seated at the throne of God and the goddess of heaven. She said as Kevin nodded at her, which Olivia said to her. Olivia. Well I don't mind being last, at least Kiana accept those girls who are worthy to be with you as a lover and if you don't mind to let me join in the harem, right Kiana? Kiana sigh as she gives her a thumbs up which she let her join the harem see told ya. she said to Kevin, much to Kevin's surprise as he sighed himself then turned back only to find a portal open wide in front of him. He raised his eyebrows in confusion as he asked Kiana about the portal. Kevin? Kiana, is this what you're doing? He pointed at portal, but Kiana nodded sideways, saying no, which Kevin is confused. Why, if this isn't your work, then who did this thing? He said as he saw a spark on the portal which it went wild. Then every girls hide behind the things to avoid being hurt, but Kevin doesn't have a hiding place which he decided to summon a large shield from Gate of Babylon, which is Lord Galahad's shield from Camelot. He stands straight and hold his position while holding the shield tightly, then a tremendous force grew stronger with a spark grew larger, which all of them cover themselves. Suddenly, Kevin heard a large bonk sound on his shield which he is confused, but then the portal started to shrinking until it disappeared right in front of them. Then Kevin unsummoned his shield into blue particles, he saw a thing that bumps into his shield, and this really surprised him. But when Kiana and the others went out, Kiana approached Kevin first as she asked him. Kiana? Kevin, what's wrong with you? You seems pretty confused on something. She looks at Kevin which she looked down at what Kevin sees as she widened her eyes which she said someone else appear from the portal. She said which all girls confused as they all look only to find out that it is a young girl with white hair just like Kiana's and Kevin's hair color and a cute face of hers. While the mysterious girl is sleeping, Kevin wanted to wake her up. But before he could wake her up, the girl's eyes were open as she saw them thinking that she is in danger with some stranger, then she gets up and jumps back, which made Kevin and Kiana impressed at her skills, which the girl's eye color reveals in violet and blue eye color. Then she brings out something which is her artifact which Kiana, Kevin and others don't know what the girl is holding as the girl said. Girl. Scuderia, set up. She said as her artifact glows which she began her transformation into a combat suit with a transformation of her age in 18 to 19 years old. This made the girl in combat suit charge forward and attempts to punch Kevin in his guts, but this made her surprised that Kevin managed to block her fist as he commented her. Kevin? You're really a strong fighter, aren't you girl? But first, stop this fight, you were brought here by the unknown force which would lead you here in my home. And would you tell us your name and in return, we will introduce ourselves to you and answer your question if you have any question. By the way, my name is Kiana Kaslana. He said to her, which the girl calmed down as she deactivated her form returning to her usual child form. Then she placed her Scuderia in her pockets as she introduced herself to them. Girl. I'm sorry for my actions earlier, my name is Rin Berlinetta, a middle school, first grade student in Bulgaroni Academy and a DSAA U15 striker with world rank number 1 and representing in the Frontier Gym. But do you know where I am this time? She asked them, which Kiana said her as she said. Kiana. Hello there Rin, my name is Kiana Kaslana, and where are you now as you're in another world which it is completely different from yours, more specifically you are in Japan, a Kuo town that is governed by 2 devil heirs unbeknownst to the humans who are non-believers. And your artifact is really interesting like it is almost as a sacred gear or known as God's artifact. So what happened to you before you were pulled by a portal and sent here? She said which shocked Rin that she is in another world but in Japan or other Japan and she heard her saying devils and sacred gear or God's artifact. This made confuse her, but nonetheless she told them about what happened. Rin. Sigh before I was pulled by a portal, I was training with someone else named Jill as my personal couch. Then I was supposed to be heading on the tournament, I saw a portal that is in front of me and it began to pull me with strong force, Jill and my other team pulled me out, but the portal grew strong. If the portal keep going stronger, I may end up bringing them with me, so I decided to release my hand and I was pulled by the portal. The last thing I heard was Jill screaming at my name before I was blacked out and that's what happened before I was sent here. She said to them, but then Kevin saw an envelope on her pockets as he tells Rin about the envelope. Kevin. By the way, what is that envelope in your pocket? He asked her which Rin saw in her pocket as she grabs it and open it, since there is no message about who gave her the envelope, so she read it as the message says, Dear Rin, how are you now, Rin? It seems that you prove yourself that you want to fight for being a brave young girl without showing any weaknesses and you wanted to be a better person for everyone. Well, I know the days has passed by as I watch you from above the heaven, but I want you to move on, my dearest granddaughter. I know that it hurts you a lot for losing me, but you still have your friends, family and everyone else. But I decided to agree with Elohim who is my new friend and he's a previous god in heaven. He said that you will be sent to another world where gods, angels, devils, fallen angels, dragons and other mythical creatures hidden from the human world in modern age. More importantly, he also said that you're going to have a new adopted family which it will be Kiana Kaslana who is the deliverance, world serpent and the strongest hero of humanity, and Kiana Kaslana who is the strongest deity, Herrscher of the Void, Flameshan in the end, and the new leader of the God of Heavens, and a supreme leader of the biblical faction. They will be your new parents and you will have a new grandparents on their side. And also, don't worry about the tournament you have, the time in your previous world is much slower than your current world, so you don't have to be worried about. Remember that I will always love you, my favorite granddaughter, no matter what. Your beloved grandfather, Roy Berlinetta. This made Rin shock herself that this letter came from her deceased grandfather, but she knew he is dead, however she read that her grandfather met God and decided to agree with the terms to send her in another world, which is completely ridiculous. But when Kiana, Kevin and others saw her envelope, Lucifer and Gabriel felt enraged at what their father have done as they said. Gabriel and Lucifer. I swear to you, Father, that when you come back here, I will punish you 100 times fold, they said in unison, which made everyone look at the two child of God while Rin is confused, but she looked back to the papers to reread the message, which Kiana managed to picture the message for reference before the letter that Rin is holding was burning into ashes, which Rin only have a blank look about what happened as Kevin sighed as he said. Kevin. Great, now we have a new member of the Kaslana. Why that lazy god wanted us to observe the world and decided to send someone else who is from another world. Look at Kiana, can you please give her a room and clothes, and please tell her the information about this world, and let her study some history books in case if she encounter with any supernatural being. But I will enroll her in Kuo Academy since Ona informed me before that there will be elementary school and 3 junior high school department, besides the 1st to 3rd year high school department. So I will enroll her either in 1st year junior high school or grade 6 elementary school. Is that clear? He tells her, which Kiana nodded before she take Rin to her new bedroom, while other girls also follow Kiana and Rin, which Kevin sigh as Drake land on his shoulder as he said. Drake. So what now, partner? He asked him, which Kevin answered Drake. Kevin. Well, I wonder if Kiana's friends will visit here. This will be a shocking event for Kiana as she is not ready to meet others. Moreover, we need strong allies like Herrschers, Shixel or even the Flamicusers, which my ancestor Kevin Kaslana is the founder of that group. By the way, I've sensed that Rin is a good candidate for the next generation of the Red Dragon Emperor, isn't it Drake? He tells Drake, which Drake nodded as he commented him. Drake. Yes, of course, I've sensed a great determination and pride inside of the young lady Rin. She also holds the true honor of the human and soon to be yours and Kiana's successor, the next guardian of humanity and supernatural, but I want her titles to be known as a Longinus. He said to Kevin, which it is a good choice for Kevin that one day, he will lend his powers to Rin when time comes after he will finish his rivalry with Valiana Lucifer, the White One. Once they're done in conversation, Drake went back to Kevin's body as Kevin walked away as he was been called by Freed through magic telecommunication, which he answered it. Kevin. What's wrong, Freed? He asked, which Freed said to him in normal voice. Freed. Kevin-sama, well, I'm sorry for the exorcist name Marina. Actually I mess her up with damaged clothes, but she will be fine. Kakabiel managed to steal her Excalibur mimicry, however she is just a decoy. She let herself buy some time to let her partner and the devil escape from Kakabiel before it happens. I will leave her in the nearby park, but I will be there as a messenger. Kakabiel will also come to have a chat with the 2 sisters of Mayu in that park, once after you retrieve Arena. He also mentioned that we will fight in Kuo Academy, as it is a perfect place for the battle. He said the information to Kevin, which Kevin hummed as he said. Kevin. Very well then, you may go now. And also, Lynn sells and contact me in the morning that she wants to give you a message, which is. Be careful, Freed. That's what she said before she goes back to work on the Vatican headquarters. He said to him as Freed said to Kevin. Freed. Thank you, Kevin-sama, and of course, you owe me $5,000 for having me as your spy, and this is goodbye, so good luck tomorrow. He said to Kevin, as Freed call ended as Kevin dispersed his magic telecommunication as he went to the girls, which they are enjoying talking with Rin as they introduce each other and talk about girls' business. Then he headed to the armory room that is near the basement and between the living room and the kitchen that he and Kiana created as he enters the code before unlocking it, which he gets in revealing numerous weapons like M4, M16, rocket launcher, shotguns, Desert Eagle, katana and many other weapons that he have in his armory. Then he found in his collection, which is a brass knuckles. Some of them are fill in holy power, others are demonic power, and there are some are combination of holy and demonic power. But what caught his attention is there is a rare design which he takes it, revealing a strange design with a power of both holy and demonic power, so he takes it and give it to Rin for self-defense. Once he have it, he turned back to see Rin, who is looking at numerous guns as she is shocked at how many weapons stored in this place. Then Kevin asked her. Kevin. Rin, what are you doing here? He asked her, which Rin said to Kevin. Rin. Nothing, I was surprised that you own a lot of weapon in this place. When and how did you have this weapon a lot? She asked him, which Kevin chuckles as he said. Kevin. Well, Rin, it was few weeks ago when I contacted the CEO who gave us $15 million together with the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. I tell him that I also need weapons, so he agrees, and I arrive on our exact meeting. This surprised me that he has a semi-truck with a cargo trailer. It is full with different types of guns, knife, katana, great sword and spears, thrown melee weapons and many more. There are also a lot of ammunition and stocks of upgrade for the weapon, they even have a lightsaber which I give a try, but it works. I try something else which I slashed the tree which it cut in ease, and tree fell down, shocking the person CEO along with others. He said that I am the first person who gives a try to test a lightsaber which that was his project he have, so he needs to create more for the better future, but not for greed. That CEO is my most trusted partner when it comes to financial and business, so he gave all of the weapons I ask for in the cargo which I pay him, 1 bag of golden bars as a payment for my CEO, so he accepts it. If you want to know where is the weapon, here take a look. He said to Rin, which he went to the safe container and enters the code and opens it revealing the lightsaber, and he pick it up and switch it on, as the lightsaber glows red, and give it a little swing which there is a sound effect, and scratching a table with a heat on the lightsaber. This made Rin jaw dropped at the new weapon, as Kevin switch it off which the lightsaber's glowing blade vanish. Then Kevin gives Rin a brass knuckles and a lightsaber which Rin takes it in confused before look up to Kevin as he said. Kevin. Rin, I give you those weapons for your self-defense. Don't use the lightsaber unless they are using lethal guns and weapons like swords and spears, and try to use it to block any magic attacks like holy spears and demonic magic, which it come from the supernatural as your primary weapon. Don't hesitate to use it, but if the enemies have no weapon, just use the brass knuckles which it is enchanted with holy and demonic power, it will be act as your secondary weapon and an emergency weapon, understood? He said to Rin, which Rin nodded at him that she is fully aware about the world which Kiana gives her information about everything, and also, Rin is also smart, genius and talented girl, so she can do that even when she fights someone inferior to her. But then, she asked Kevin saying, Rin. By the way, where is the training grounds, Kevin Atausen? She asked him, confusing Kevin about what she said. Kevin. Well okay, you may call me that. But as for training grounds, it will be 4th floor next to the bathroom. But we still have a gymnasium which is same room as the training grounds, and if you want, I'll lead you there right now. He said to Rin, as Rin is now happy that she had a new father she can rely on. Which they both headed outside the armory room and closed the door. After that, he saw Kiana along the girls who are cooking for dinner which their family will arrive soon, so he leads Rin to the 4th floor as they were arrived which he shows the code to Rin so she can able to access to the training grounds and gymnasium. Then once the code is unlocked the door open, revealing the training grounds with gymnasium which is very futuristic and modern, which made Rin jaw dropped at the size and set of equipment in one room. Rin. I don't know what to say. She stutter herself, which Kevin looked down at Rin as he asked her. Kevin. Don't you like it, Rin? He asked her, but then Rin answered him. Rin. No I don't like it I love it, I never thought that you have this a lot, I just wanted to train here which is better than training in a small area. Plus you have a lot of equipment for the exercise, I really need it a lot and this is amazing, she said to Kevin with a star on her eyes and amazed, which Kevin smiled a lot that his new adopted daughter loves this place as he said to her. Kevin. I see, in that case, you can train here as much as you want, plus there is also AI that will help you in need like food, water, clothes, towel and anything. I will let you use this, and there are some information of the fighting skills from humans to gods fighting skills. Like the Olympian fighting skills, Chinese martial arts and many more, but once you finish in training, the AI will handle the cleaning chores, so please don't destroy anything, understand? He told her, which Rin noted it as she said to her new father. Rin. Hi, but I will wake up in 4:30 am on the morning. I've always do this routine for the whole week before heading back to school. She said to Kevin, which Kevin nodded to her which they heard Kiana who is calling them to eat with dinner, so they went outside of the training room or gymnasium as they went to the dining room to have some dinner as a family. But Kevin needs to train hard together with Kiana tomorrow at early morning, which is why they must be ready on facing their enemy Kakabiel and to stop Kakabiel from destroying his hometown, even destroying the lives of the innocent people. That is also Kevin's job which is to eliminate the evil be thy devils, fallen angels, evil gods or even Honkai and Herrschers, and restore the balance of the world as the hero of humanity, the world serpent and the deliverance. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day bye.